What up? Prime Mega New Trees up on the fullest trees up. Listen up, y'all. I was reading this article in the New York Times. Shout out to the wife for sending it to me. And it got me to thinking because it confirmed everything that I've been thinking, as far as, for some reason, this kept, lately been surfacing in my mind. Self-sufficiency, and what does that look like for me, and especially in this space and time, in this current space and time. So I read this article in New York Times, and it was about how a lot of Gen X people feel they're in between, as far as, we got the baby boomers before us who, they were taught a certain way to how to survive and investments, and and they would be about, right now we'd be somewhere approaching retirement. And this is not everybody, this is just general. I mean, this is what the article says, right? So, and then also you have the millennials and then the Gen Z, which a lot of the Gen Z, they were born into what's going on currently, of course. And they're able to maneuver a little quickly. Whereas, and this is the thing that actually motivated me. It said Gen X, we maneuver the way we maneuver because we were never promised anything. And that explained a lot about how I feel and how I'm never able to settle for anything. Even when I remember having this conversation with my mom 20 years ago with my first job out of college, and it was corporate, and I mean, it was so stressful, it made me sick. But luckily they laid me off. I was there 5.5 years, so I learned a lot. But I told my mom, even before that all happened, when it first started, mom was like, this is gonna be a good job where you can retire. And I said, Mom, honestly, I don't even know what retirement looks like for me, And I was about 24, 25. And I mean, I was speaking more from someone who could see that far, but not really getting anything from it, future-wise. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't just speaking typically from a 24, 25-year-old. I was speaking y'all as in them came in different. You know what I'm saying? And then I could see where technology back in 05, 06 was already gone. And I'm like, there's no way I would be able to, not from here, not from that job. And I saw it. And there was a layoff 5.5 years later. And I was like, man, I knew it, And from then on, I always kept that mind state that I always have to remain teachable, flexible, maneuverable, just damn near ambidextrous. You know what I'm saying? And to be able to circumnavigate what's going on, And especially, our best gift could also be your worst, could be a curse, meaning technology at some point, for as many things that it gives us, good things, at some point it's going to catch up with us. And here it is, we're seeing it, with AI and everything. And how that's another thing the article was talking about, is that a lot of people who went to school for certain skills, editorial, people that wrote for music magazines, entertainment, all of this kind of got laid off, and now are trying to re-establish themselves at this day and age. To try to figure out a new identity for themselves. And I'm not saying this to scare you or anything like that. What I'm really getting to is self-sufficiency is a thing that remains or will continue to grow for you as long as you pursue it in a way that you remain a student, that you are teachable, that you can continue to learn things. Seriously, I'm glad I already adapted that mind state years and years and years ago, even back probably before I left school. after I graduated. It was like, all right, cool, I got this piece of paper, but still, that doesn't mean anything. Because I knew people that didn't go to, I know people now that didn't go to school or complete it that are amazing at what they do, and they are self-sufficient. They move on their own. They have their own businesses, and that still amazes me for someone, especially in this day and time, to be able to maneuver with all this technology and all this competition, and still figure out a way to make a living for themselves and for others around them. So I just say, like I said, with the approaching technology, man, AI, even musicians. I make beats, as y'all know. I produce. Back then, let's say when I first started, I learned to rap. I learned to rap from producing other people. When I was in high school. You know what I'm saying? And it's a skill I held on to. And I wasn't crazy about it because I wanted to be behind the scenes. I always wanted to be behind the scenes, but for some reason, God saw fit to just kept pushing me out to the front, out front. And I've always been a quiet, laid back, background kind of person. That's always what I wanted to do, is just be in the background and create and write. So I can write, I can produce, I can make beats, I can do whatever needs to be done. And they're like, the threat of production, with AI is threatening that as well, because musicians, you can grab stuff. Even right now, I have access to programs that plays guitar, like that will change the melody, the chord progressions, and all of that. You know what I'm saying? You just have to know what the creativity comes in, knowing what you need, what you want from it. But again, that doesn't scare me either. Just has me thinking like, all right, yeah, this landscape is about to change. And things have already changed about how we appreciate music, movies. Like things don't last as long because of what's going on. And that's only going to get faster. And mind you, our attention spans are already short, and they're just going to continue to get smaller. I mean, if you notice, IG has I think it started from 15 seconds to 30 seconds, and now, it was a minute. Then they dialed it back. Then they've extended it. So now you can do reels for even, I guess, a few minutes. So there's even a fight there for attention. I feel like the people who are in charge of this technology see that, and they see how powerful that is. So I feel like they're trying to almost negotiate with innovation. Like, hey, we don't want the attention span we want it to be short, but not that short. Because what we're trained on now is like this. Everything is going by like this. You know what I'm saying? Everything goes super fast, and if it don't hit a certain marker point in those certain few minutes or seconds, it's out of here. It doesn't appease the algorithm. You know what I'm saying? So I see that, and these are things that I notice, on Facebook. Sorry about that, y'all. So my camera battery died, so I'm finishing this up from my phone. So, like I said, everything is pointed towards, your attention span. It's 1 minute they're extending, next minute they're dwindling it down to time-wise, and I see that that's almost a battle in itself. And I'm wondering, where we'll be as far as attention span. So keep that in mind. Like, keep also, get your information from online, Googles and all that, but also it's also cool, and it's also good for your mind to read actual books. Like, it changes your whole vibe. It's a different perspective, and I'm not trying to change the subject, but definitely, again, remain teachable, but remain teachable from different aspects. It's very important. But like I said, I just feel like with where we're going with technology, if you remain a student, regardless of what field you're in, what field you're getting into, it should never be, okay, I'm good. Once I get here, I'm good. It's not, that should never be the mind state. There should be something else after that. Keep striving for something else. You know what I'm saying? And you'll be good. Even with technology and where it's changing stuff, you will always find a way to hone a new craft. You know, even if it's just a hobby right now, you know, you could be doing something on the side and it's just something fun that you love to do. I have plenty of hobbies, you know, and I'm right now, as we speak, trying to figure out how to integrate those new or those other hobbies into what I do, you know, and eventually make it into some kind of a business venture, you know, because again, with technology isn't all bad, but also you don't want to stand still, because innovation and evolution will run through you. They will. As a fact, we've seen it. We're seeing it right now. You know what I'm saying? So this is coming from somebody who already was laid off early on. I know all about severance and all of that, you know, figuring it out. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm just trying to keep y'all sights high and focused on not just getting to one point. Like, yeah, it's good if you see something up the road, like get there, but you know that you should have other goals to reach afterwards. You know what I'm saying? So just remain teachable, remain a student, you know, and regardless of what innovation, even if innovation comes, welcome it and learn about it. Read some information about it online, you know, try to stay up, because that's what I'm about to just seriously, because everything is just really, really changing, and I see it, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not fretting, I'm not running from it. Again, I've always had this mind state that I gotta be able to be all of this, you know. And like I said, back to that article when it referenced, you know, my generation, I consider myself a Zennial. They say there's a Zennial. I'm in between, because I know nothing about the 70s. I was, you know, 79. The last quarter of the year I was born 79. I mean, I know about the 70s, but as far as growing up in it, I'm an 80s baby, 80s and 90s. So, but I like the way that article again referenced our generation was never promised anything. So that's why we kind of are in between. That's why we're, at least that explains let me just speak for me. That explains my mind state. I'm never like settled. I'm never, you know. But yeah, you know what I mean? Just wanted to just holler at y'all, you know what I mean? And again, I'm not here to criticize y'all. This is nothing. This is just something that I read. I figured I'd try to pass on the energy. Hopefully it's motivation for you. I'm not trying to scare you. Just trying to motivate y'all. Y'all know me. You know what I mean? I love you. I love y'all, and I appreciate y'all because y'all motivate me. All right? So have a blessed week. Have a blessed day. Remain teachable. Let's get it, y'all. Trees up.